All right, let's just jump right into it. I just want this to be a short video and my thoughts because this is exciting. But I don't want, I feel like more people are getting their hopes up more than they should, which is just going to lead to them getting disappointed if it doesn't pan out the way they are expecting it to. So, earlier today, or yesterday, at the time of making this video, Bandai released a best of three match rules. Dope. So, just to set the record clear so you guys know where I stand, I come from Yu-Gi-Oh! And best of three is, in my opinion, the like only way we should be playing any card game. I believe that that's the only correct way. Period. I don't care what card game you're playing, or what argument you could throw my way to justify not playing best of three. My answer will remain the same. I think best of three is the only way to play a card game. I think it makes things more balanced. I think it makes things more fair, and I think it eliminates a little bit of the RNG that just card games have by their nature. So, ideally, for me, my biggest wish is just to play Yu-Gi-Oh! With Gundam cards. That's where I'm coming from. Now, with that said, I am not letting myself get too excited about these best of three match rules because let's just go over them first. So, best of three in this match format, up to three one-on-one games are played within a 60-minute time limit. Off to a great start. I think 60 minutes is a little much to play three games, but if everyone finishes before then we can start the round early and it's whatever. So, better to give ourselves more time to complete the match than not enough time and then go into time every round. You know what I mean? So my thought on that. And the first player to win two games wins the match. Additionally, a sideboard of cards used for making substitutions may be used. During the first game, player 1 and player 2 are determined by using a random method such as rock paper scissors. During the second and third games, players 1 and 2 are chosen by the player who lost the previous game. So that's why I think that's one of the reasons why I think best of three is the only way to go, because in the card game, like I said, it eliminates some of the RNG because maybe I lost this game because I didn't see my pilots, because I shuffled and you cut, and for some reason, 6 out of the 8 were I wasn't going to see after the 25th card, after I saw half the deck first. In this game, it's very rare that you see more than 25 cards of your deck. So I lost game 1 in a regular situation. That's a loss. I'm no longer topping. I'm no longer first because, for the most part, first is undefeated. So immediate demoralization from the start. But in best of three, I lost to RNG. Sucks to suck. Anyways, game 2, I'm going first or second this time, getting the EX resource, or if I'm playing aggro, just getting my second resource up immediately to start spamming the board. It gives more options. So I think that's great and why I love it. Required items best of three allows the use of a sideboard in addition to what is permitted by these standard rules for two-player matches. So the deck is still 50 cards, the resource deck is still 10 cards, token cards as necessary, counters, and then the sideboard is going to be 10 cards. I have my own issue with the sideboard amount. I'm used to 15 because that's what it is in Yu-Gi-Oh! But I'm taking it as it comes, and I think 10 is better than none. So I think that is fine. I think so far, like I said, I think all of this is fine. It's great. It's wonderful. I love it. Sideboards. For your sideboard, you may prepare exactly 10 cards that are separate from your main deck. Don't agree with that. I think it should be up to 10. Because if I build a deck for whatever reason, and let's say it works perfectly except for just maybe a playset of one card that I want to switch out, I should be allowed to just have a 4-card side deck. If that's all I'm going to switch in, I should be allowed to have a 4-card side deck. But, like I said, we take it as we take it. I'm sure that'll never be the case, but I like to have my options open, and I don't like to be restricted. But, like I said, this is just minor complaints. I don't think it's detrimental to the new match rules or anything. You may substitute cards in your sideboard with cards in your main deck between games. Time spent substituting is included in the time limit, so try to substitute cards as quickly as possible. Okay, it's pretty on par with what I'm used to. You may include up to 4 cards of the same card number in your main deck and your sideboard combined. When constructing your deck, up to 2 colors of cards may be combined and included in your main deck and sideboard. That seemed pretty like you could assume that. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory for so far. During matches, the main deck you use must be constructed using exactly 50 cards. Obviously, you've got to keep the deck the same amount of numbers, even if the cards change. After one match ends before the next match begins, your main deck must be returned to the state it was in when initially presented before playing. Obviously, from my experience, if you're new, that may not be obvious to you, and place the sideboard face down on the table away from the center where it won't become mixed in with your main deck. This I disagree with. I think that your side deck should remain in your deck box at all times. You only take it out to side deck. Because now that's more stuff on the table, more clutter. God forbid you know, tap your main deck and it hits into your side deck, and now you gotta spend, like shit. Obviously, they're gonna be in the same sleeves, so that's just a recipe for disaster. That's like, you know, but and also it says place shoulder face down on the table away from the center. Like if I place it on the side, like where, like we're pretty tight in a tournament. Like we're sitting shoulder to shoulder, and I've been to a local where I had to stand up because the people to my left and my right were so close. I didn't fit sitting down, so I played that match standing up. In regionals, you are also very shoulder to shoulder, especially at the low tables, where because like they make those smaller and more uncomfortable on purpose. That's your punishment for this. I don't know. I'm just talking shit, but for some, they usually the lower tables are these smaller tables, so you're going to be more cramped. I think if you follow the rules of gameplay, the only thing that should be in your deck box is your main deck, your resources, your tokens, your dice, and now your side deck. Before it was nothing else. It stopped at dice or whatever, and you could have no other cards. But with the addition of a side deck, I think that should be the added thing allowed in your deck box while everything else is outside. Because most deck boxes, if you're competitive, first off, you only really care about this if you're competitive. I went on a weird ass tangent. So, anyways, what I meant to say is that if you're competitive, you probably have a quote unquote competitive deck box, which has space for a side deck, or it comes with dividers, just like the ones we got for the IBO and the Wing premium Bandai stuff, and the dividers we just got for the multiplayer event for EBO1. So that's why I think it should stay in the deck box, and why I said that if you're competitive, you probably have one of these deck boxes, and if you're not competitive, you either don't, or you just don't really care because you play casually, and this game is really fun casually anyway as well. So this is more about the competitive aspect of the game. But anyways, moving on. The contents of the sideboard is private information, while the number of cards it is public. Players are free to confirm the number of cards in their opponent's sideboard at any time. Pretty standard. Matches are conducted using the standard rules for two-player matches. Okay, so now the reason why I say don't get too excited is because I see the why would they post it if they're not going to implement it? First off, companies can do whatever they want. Whether there's rhyme or reason to it, not really up to us. They just do what they do, and we take it. We don't really have a choice. But the main place I'm coming from is this: the Bandai organized play Gundam card game tournament rules and manual. Match structure. During a tournament, a match will include a set number of games. The player who wins a specified number of games wins the match. And then, right here, so online standard match structure, best of one. Standard qualifying match structure, best of one. Top cut, best of three. Championship top two, best of three. They had best of three at Worlds last season, but they didn't have an official rule page. I think they released the rules, but it wasn't this. So until I see best of three, best of three, best of three, best of three, I don't care about this update. You know what I mean? And like I said, I want this to be real. I want this to be implemented. But to answer the question, well, why would Bandai add this to their main page? Because Best of 3 looks like it might be at least the world's top cut, top, you know, format, structure. That might just be the world structure. They don't specify. Either which way. They don't specify whether it's going to be for everything. They don't specify whether it's going to be for uh, competitive like MTC, NTC, and above, and they don't specify that it's only going to be for the most competitive events. So like there is no really, they don't tell us anything. So because they're not telling us anything, is why I'm not getting excited. This is just an addition to the additional rules to the game. Cool, awesome. When it becomes relevant, I will actually care about it. Until now, it is just another link on their main page. I just don't want people to get super excited and then they come out and say, oh yeah, by the way, that best of 3 thing, only for Top Cut at Worlds. You know? And I was like, oh, well, like, you baited us, you know, you, like, this was a bait and switch, like, you lied to us, like, you weren't transparent, like, you know, we can throw all these excuses at Bandai and get mad at Bandai after they quote-unquote disappoint us. But let's be real, we are only disappointed because we let our expectations get too high. And like I said, you guys know where I'm coming from. Best of 3 is the only way for me. But I'm not letting myself get excited. Not yet. Not yet. When we have best of 3, you best believe that if they say, by the way, best of 3, yeah, that's just the way it's going to be from now on. I will be jumping from the rooftops. I'm like kissing my homie next to me, whoever that poor bastard is at the time. Like, I'm going to be super excited, bro. Like, this is what I want since the dawn of the game. Like, as soon as they said best of 1 was a match procedure, I got so, like, not upset, but like, I got so disappointed because, like I said, best of 3 is the only way for me. So yes, I want this to be real, and I want to be excited, and I want, you know, everyone's dreams to come true. But you know, you can't. Just saying, reel it in a little bit. You know, it might not be what you want it to be, and expectations lead to disappointment. Is that a sad way to look at life? Yeah, kind of. But at the same time, if you see it that way, when something good happens, it's always a positive surprise. So that's all I want to say. I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. Please be excited. Please play this game. Please have fun. Please enjoy yourself, you know. But like I'm saying, I have seen it in a lot of games, in a lot of situations, you know, professional, personal, competitive, casual, you know, where people will get these ideas in their head about a certain thing that they like, whether it's a game, whether it's a new car, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a food, you know, that they will get these ideas in their head. These just like super high or not even super high, just higher than what they thought like it would be. And then the hammer comes down and it's like, by the way, this is what we meant by that. And they quit the game. And they quit the game. You know, like, man, screw this, screw that, blah blah blah. That's not what I wanted. That's not what you promised me, even though there was never a promise. So I don't want to see people quit the game because they think that something's gonna happen when it's not confirmed yet. All right, now if when they confirm what this means and for what, and if it is what we all want or what a lot of people want, I know some people are happy with best of 1, and yeah, man, that's you. And if it stays best of 1, I'm glad you're happy. I'm still gonna play the game regardless, but you know, but if it does become best of 3, like I know a lot of people do want, great. You know, let's get together, let's throw a party. You know, that's what I'm like. Let's go. But until then, you know, until I get the invite to the party, I'm not telling anyone I'm going. You know what I mean? So that's it. You know, that's just my little rant, I guess, because like I said, I hope this is what I want it to be. But if it's not, then you know, I expected it to not be. I expect nothing to change. So if something does change for the positive, then I'm going to be pleasantly surprised. But I'm not gonna let myself get my hopes up, and then when they dash them, I'm gonna get mad and quit the game. Because I have seen people do that, and you could say like, "Oh, well, they just need to grow up and be mature and blah blah." Yeah, but at the same time, like it's just a game, and if the game's not giving you what you want, you're gonna move on to something that is. Whether that be a different hobby entirely, whether it be just another game, or whether you say, you know what, screw that, I'm just done. Like, if it's not giving you what you want, then don't keep playing. Because why make yourself miserable? I want you to play. If you're on the line and you're thinking about quitting or staying, like, don't take this as me telling you to quit. No, please stay. Please keep playing. Like, I like this game. I like the people I've met and the people I will continue to meet. But that's the thing. Because I want you to keep playing is why I don't want you to get your hopes up. If this is what you want. I think the game is fun. Like I said, I'm just repeating myself at this point, but I just really want to drive it home. This is cool that they've done this, and it leads to some really cool potential, but nothing is written in stone yet. And nothing will ever be written in stone because they can change the rules at any time. So take it as it is, enjoy the game as it is today, and then tomorrow enjoy as it is tomorrow. And just keep it going day by day. As long as you keep having fun and enjoying yourself, but that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks for listening to me rant. Want to end it by saying these are just my thoughts. I don't speak for everybody, nor do I try to speak for everybody. These are just my opinions. Keep enjoying yourself, keep playing the game, and I'll see you guys next time.